Yo, what's up, sports bettors? It's Friday night, and I have 8 player props already for Saturday. So 7 of them are going to be for the NBA 3-point contest. But before we jump into that, I want to brag a bit, very briefly. I had 2 back-to-back cashes, so 2 5-pick flex plays on Prize Picks. This one ended up pushing one leg. So when you push one leg in a 5-pick flex, your 5 leg parlay will become a 4 leg parlay, but this one just completely cashed. So, got to brag a little bit about that. Hopefully, you were able to tail if you tailed on Twitter. But, anyways, let's go ahead and let's get into my plays for the 3-point contest. So, we can actually start out. Let's just go ahead and let's go to my first entry. So, I have Buddy Hield over half of a round one starry shot made. Then I have Tatum over half of a round one starry shot made, as well as Lillard. So I have all 3 of these elite athletes to make over half, so to have 1+ round one starry shot made. So you may be like, okay, where did you get these plays from? And the first thing I want to mention is, on Underdog Fantasy, you need to understand how this platform works. A lot of people, they dive into Underdog Fantasy and they have no clue how it works. And then they lose their shirt and they're like, damn, I just lost a lot of money. Why did I lose a lot of money? And it's like, well, you didn't even understand the platform, how their payouts work and stuff like that. So I've explained this in tons of videos, so I don't want to dwell on it. But essentially, on Underdog Fantasy, any 3 picks you select, which you can see right here as I change around overs and unders, I can switch this to a golf pick, right? Any 3 picks I select, I'm getting $1 to win 6. Switch Tiger to an under, we change Tiger to Jon Rahm. You can see $1 to win 6. So they're not changing your payouts depending on if you select the over or the under, right? Any 3-leg parlay on this platform, any 3-leg parlay at all, you're going to be betting 1 to win 6. So we've kind of gone through the math before, but essentially if you look at a parlay calculator, what you'll notice is any parlay where every leg has the exact same odds, and you're betting $1 to win 6, 1 to win 5 in profit, 6 total, is roughly minus 122 odds. So essentially, Underdog, as a parlay-only platform, does a good job at disguising the juice, right? Disguising the vig, disguising the juice on their platform. But essentially what they're doing is they're just charging you minus 122 odds on any play that you go with in a 3-pick or a 5-pick power play. So 3-pick and 5-pick power plays, anything you're betting, you should assume if it's an over or an under that you're betting at minus 122 odds. And I'll leave my email, below too if you have questions. But any play you're going with, you're getting minus 122 odds. Okay, now that's different than a 2-pick entry. 2-pick entries, you're getting minus 137, which is a lot worse. Which is why you'll notice on Underdog Fantasy, I'm never placing really 2-pick entries. They're all going to be 3-pick or 5-picks because those are, mathematically optimal. And I've had some big cashes kind of recently. And again, you're just going to see 3-pick entries. I'm just showing you what I put my own money on. But anyway, so we're getting minus 122 odds on Underdog. Why do we like this play on Lillard? Well, go to DraftKings. DraftKings has Lillard to make one shot from starry range in the first round at minus 195. Or this is FanDuel, I apologize. Minus 195. We're getting minus 122, we just said, on any play in a 3-pick entry. And FanDuel's telling us, this should be priced at minus 195. We're getting minus 122. Seems like a shit ton of value to me, right? Then you go over to DraftKings and you're like, oh, FanDuel's just one data point. Let's check out more data points. You go over to FanDuel and they're like, we have Lillard over at minus 175, so less aggressive, less bullish on the over than FanDuel is, but DraftKings has the over at minus 175, and they also give you odds on the under at plus 140, right? So over, minus 175, under, plus 140. So what you can do is you can take DraftKings market and put it into what's called a no-vig odds calculator. And essentially, if you just, you don't care about the math, it should be pretty clear. Like, when sportsbooks are telling you something should be minus 195, and you can get it minus 122 on Underdog Fantasy in a 3-pick entry, seems like pretty dang good value, right? You don't need to be a math major or rocket scientist to figure that out. But if you're curious more about the math, what you can do is you can take DraftKings market on the over and the under, and put it into this no vig fair odds calculator. And what this calculator does is it just removes the vig from the sportsbooks market, right? So sportsbooks, they make money by charging the vig. They make money by charging their spread, which is called the vig in sports betting. So sportsbooks have these complicated models, right, that spit out win probabilities for overs and unders or both sides of a spread. They're constantly moving around, updating their model based on supply and demand. If all the action comes in on Lillard's over, FanDuel and DraftKings are going to move from maybe minus 175 to minus 200, minus 225, right? Sportsbooks, they don't want risk. They're always trying to balance equal wagers on the over and the under. So long story short, it's like, okay, well, DraftKings has the over at minus 175, so the over is obviously favored. They have the under at plus 140. So based on where their market is, Lillard should be going over 60.43% of the time, which implies a fair line, fair odds, true odds, no vig odds. There's a bunch of terms for it. Fair odds, no vig odds, true odds, whatever you want to call it, of minus 152.73. So basically, what the vig removed, the true odds should be minus 152, minus 153, and we're getting minus 122 on underdog, which is a lot better, right? We're getting improvement. We're getting better odds than the no vig odds. It's kind of like if you had the true price of a stock is, let's say, $12. You can buy it for $10. You want to buy that stock. The true price is $12. You can buy it at a discount at $10. It's kind of the same thing here. We're getting minus 122 odds, but the true line should be roughly minus 153. So we're getting a lot of value. So this is a play I locked in. If you have questions, this is this calculator, no vig odds calculator, most important calculator in sports betting. So read through this text. If you have questions, you can email me, but it's the most important calculator in sports betting. So this is what I went with on underdog. And then on prize picks, I used some of the same plays. Hield, Tatum, over half of a starry ball made. Also Halliburton, Julius Randle, under 18.5 round 1 points, and Tyrese Proctor, over 3.5 assists. So on prize picks, you want to go with 5-pick flex plays. On underdog, you want to go with 3-pick power plays, right? 3-pick power play is basically everything I'm going with on underdog, which you see here, right? And then this is the play I went with. On prize picks, you want to go with 5-pick entries, 5-pick flex plays. And this is what I ended up going with. So best of luck if you tail. Any questions you have, feel free to email me, whatever. Kind of trying to explain the strategy behind sports betting, how you can bet like a sharp, and hopefully this was helpful. Let's make some money, guys.